Welcome, friends. Today is an exciting day on Wild Coffee Homestead. I'm Kevin, and Bonnie's going to join me shortly. Today's an exciting day. As others are planning for winter, as others are planning for maybe a traditional fall here in Florida, we are planting our fall garden. This is kind of phase one, and we're going to do this with you today. So thank you for joining us on this journey.
So today's the day we're going to put these babies into some soil. You may have remembered, because of all our water issues this past spring and summer, we're going to do something a little different until we can recreate our garden behind us here. We're using self-wicking container gardens, and we have a video. We can put the link at the end of this video so you can see what that's all about and what type of soil we use for those. But today we're going to be putting some tomatoes into our self-wicking containers. When we put the tomatoes in the ground, we're actually going to be planting them up to about here. I would say the stem will go good 3-4 inches into the soil. And this way, these little fine fibers, little hairs, those will be roots. That will give them a really strong root system, allowing nutrients and water to just absorb through those. So we'll be actually trimming the lower leaves off of the plant. Tomatoes are actually a vining plant. So what they do is they just keep growing and growing. These could get to be 10 foot tall. If we don't give them something to grow on, a stake or a trellis, they'll end up on the ground. The problem with that, there's a lot of moisture created when they grow that way, and therefore a lot of disease will develop on them. We're going to place some cattle panels behind our self-wicking boxes. Therefore, we'll be able to tie those up with the stretchy tape and support them. Because once they're about a foot or two tall, they're going to fall right over and possibly break or start growing. Those little hairs, the fibrous hairs, if they do hit the ground, they will attach themselves through those and create roots. But we're not going to let them do that. We're going to have them grow straight up. Our spacing, we'll probably get about 2 tomato plants per box. We don't want them too close for the same reason. We don't want them to create a lot of moisture, get disease, and we'll also be doing a lot of pruning to keep them where airflow can just go in and out and keep them healthy as we can. So let's plant some tomato plants. When we go to dig our hole for the tomato plants, we're going to dig a deep hole. A friend of mine told me a trick. She didn't really know the science or understand why, but she puts an egg in the bottom of her hole before she puts the tomato in there. So we're going to dig a hole, place the egg in, crack it just slightly to make sure that the nutrients of it will escape. I think it will anyway, but she recommended going ahead and giving it a little crack. And then place our tomato plant in and cover it with soil. So that should be really interesting. It's kind of like a natural fertilizer for the plant. So we're excited about trying that. So let's plant some tomatoes. Before we put our tomatoes in the ground, I planted 3 seeds in each cell. What we're going to do is we're going to pick the strongest, the healthiest, the tallest tomato and just snip off the other 2. It's kind of painful to do because it breaks my heart, but it will give us the best, strongest plant. So we'll go ahead and do that. This is a short little guy here, or shorter. They all look really healthy. And then this would be the next shortest. So we just clip those off. And now we'll just use that one plant. I'm going to go ahead and trim off our lower leaves. And that way we will just allow the leaves on the crown on the top, because we're going to be putting that under the ground. So we'll go ahead and take that out of our cell. And it's got a really nice root system going on it. You can see that. So it's ready to go into the ground, that's for sure. So now we're going to dig our hole. And this soil is really soft because it is a raised bed. Got our egg here ready to place in the bottom. go pretty deep here. I would say a good 8-10 inches. Nice moist soil too. Put our egg in the bottom. Gonna give it a little tap. Let's free up our roots a little bit. And then this goes down to the bottom. Fill in our soil. First plant's in. Let's get the rest in. There we go. All the tomatoes are planted, and in just a little bit, Kevin's going to show us he's going to put up the trellises, the cattle panels. So these guys will have something to secure themselves to and grow tall and strong.